So the next movie is a film called The Origin of Evil. It's in theaters and on demand September 22nd. I know nothing about this movie. Bruce Purkey, why don't you take this movie away and you and Eric can talk about it?
Yeah, Eric, I know where Eric's going to go. If he's still awake at the end of this review, I'll see. First of all, there is a pretty big spoiler that I will not give away in this movie. Hopefully, Eric doesn't want to either, but he might not care. He might just be like, whatever, I hate this movie.
I'm trying to think of what a spoiler might be.
Eric, for me, do not give away that spoiler because I'm going to probably watch it afterwards.
Can you put it in chat? Because I honestly don't know what you're talking about.
I will just say it's a basic thing about the main character's identity. Let's just say that.
Yeah, do not mention the
okay.
character.
Yeah, that's a pretty big
I thought
spoiler.
that was the main thing, but go ahead.
No, because that's not something that happens till like the third act. But yeah, basic concept is you start out with, this is directed by Sebastian Marnier, main character played by Laure Calamy. She plays Stephanie, and you see her starts out, she's working in this fish packing plant, just drudgery. And it almost reminds me of the beginning of Carrie in a way. You just got this drudgery and all these people working together and in the dressing room and just kind of you're just like, what is this going to be? It's just a drama about living in French blue collar life. And it kind of starts out like that. You see her visiting her girlfriend in prison. You're not sure what that's all about. And then she gets a couple phone calls. And then all of a sudden she's on a trip out to meet her father. And you find out very quickly that Stephanie was essentially abandoned by her father and hasn't really known her father her whole life. And she has reached out to them, her father, and her father said, come meet me. She comes and meets him, and he seems pretty friendly and kind of tells her a little bit about, who he is. And you find out very quickly he's very rich, and he invites her back to their family manor where she meets her half sister and her, I guess, half stepmother and her half, I don't know, whatever. All these family members are there. Very rich, very suspicious of her that she's just showing up, and they're like, oh, okay, was she here just to get money? What's this woman doing here? And so begins the story. Slowly but surely, she's kind of becoming a part of the life, trying to reconnect with her father. And you find out that the family hates the father, and they're actually trying to essentially become his caretakers. They're going to say he's unfit to care for his own estate and his own money. So there becomes very quickly kind of the tension is, will she, this new person in the life, help him maintain his control over his wealth? And who is going to backstab whom in that process? And then the rest of the movie basically becomes kind of a very slow, and this is Eric's problem probably, a very slow kind of cat and mouse game where you're actually not sure who is doing what to undermine whom. And the twists keep turning as the movie goes on.
This sounds like an amazing film.
It's definitely a Greg movie. 1,000% a Greg movie.
And like I mentioned, there's split screens abound. I just want to really quickly say there's a few split screens in this movie. I'm kind of like, oh, it's kind of fun and flashy and it's a split screen, whatever. But the movie overall is pretty subdued filming. But I'll just say there's a split screen at the end. I won't say what's happening in it other than to say there's a group of people in one side and there's a single person on the other side. And then at some point, the single person leaves their screen and joins the group. And then so that you basically have this extended split screen where one side of the split screen is just empty. And you're like, what is going on with this filmmaking? But the way that plays out, I think, is fantastic. Anyway, go away. Go ahead. Do it. Say it, Eric.
I will go away.
Go away with this.
Everything Bruce said is correct, and the story is really good in this. I just thought the first half, it wasn't doing it for me, and it wasn't even the slow pace. It was like I understood the story, I got all the characters, but it just kind of was like it wasn't even like it was spinning its wheel. And it wasn't the pace. There was just something about it that just wasn't capturing me. And it should. That is until probably about the last third when things really started going on. And that split screen scene you're talking about, I thought was really great. In fact, the split screen in all of this is used in really interesting ways. Like how they have the split, they have all the people at the table, and it's kind of like it's almost like the Brady Bunch opening.
Yeah, yeah.
They're like looking at each other, but they're there and there. They're not actually on the either way. So there's definitely some really cool stuff on this, and the way it ends, especially, it's got like a if anyone listening saw the original Taking of Pelham 123, it doesn't end on a freeze frame, but it may as well. And I think the ending of this is just as good as Taking of Pelham 123 because a thing happens, and when someone says they're going to do a thing, it's like, oh, yep. It's like, what could possibly happen? There's like 30 seconds of the movie left.
Yep.
Oh, you're okay.
And the way they leave it, the way they hold on that is just,
Yeah.
it's like one of those things they hold on it and cut at the exact perfect moment, I think.
Yeah. I think so. Like, I was giving this movie crap before we even talked about it, and definitely like the first 2/3 of this movie, I was like, and it's weird because the story wasn't bad. The story was really good. It's just maybe the filmmaking, maybe something about it just kept putting me off and putting me to sleep. It wasn't until that final third, probably when they start, getting a little bit of courtroom drama in there. That little nugget of courtroom drama. I'm like, and I'm awake. Yeah, this is a good story. Just and I can. I'm just repeating myself. I don't know what I don't like about that first 2/3. There's just something about this doesn't work for me. Last third, and then the very last shot, the very end of this is pretty fantastic. There's some really great stuff in this, and I think this is a movie this would probably be like a 5. This would be a 6.9 star Greg movie if I had to guess. For me, not quite that high, but who knows? Maybe if I watch it again, it'll raise a bit because the characters are there, the story's there, cinematography, all that's there, filmmaking's there. Just there was something about it that didn't work for me, and I don't know what it is.
Bruce, do you have an idea what didn't work for Eric? What's that little thing that didn't work for Eric?
I could see, because the beginning part of this movie, or the first half, is a lot of setup, and I think I could see, but it does come together. For me, it's like this, and I can see that's probably, if you're just not feeling that vibe, you're like, where is this movie going? I can't kind of, some version of that could probably be happening to you. I just felt, for some reason, I trusted it, and it felt like this director, the filmmaker, the whole production seemed like they knew what they were leading to, and I kind of went with it and waited for the shoes to drop. I feel like what I like about this is kind of like Knives Out in a subdued version. This has a whole bunch of characters at the beginning that all seem to be one type of character, and by the end of the movie, they have all turned out to be different than originally presented to you. So all the characters have gone places.
I think I know what it is because I did know where it was going. And we talked earlier about don't give away the twist, to which I said, what was the twist? And he told me, I'm like, oh, okay, that I just kind of assumed that's where it was going immediately.
Well, and
so maybe like as I'm watching, I'm like, I know where this is going. Just when's the other shoe gonna drop, and we're gonna get into that. That's kind of what I was waiting for, maybe.
Yes, and I kind of agree with you there too. I don't think that twist quote is hard to figure out, but you definitely don't know how everything's going to play out. I think that's where this movie has fun.
That all happens in the last third, and that's when finally, okay, now we're cooking with gas. Now we can tell the rest of the story.
Okay, cooking with gas, third act. Now, Bruce, what is your final rating on your overall rating for the Origin of Evil?
I pretty much loved this movie throughout. I really liked it quite a bit, so I'm going to go 4.5 on this one. I love this a lot.
4.5 stars. And I guess I'm not going to give my rating yet because I haven't seen the movie, but I think just a preemptive 6.9 star. Oh, I don't do 6.9 stars. I don't do that. I'm going to give it 5 stars. Eric Holmes still put 6.9 star banger on our Google Doc. Eric, what is your rating on The Origin of Evil?
I'll probably go 3 stars. Definitely recommend it. I think a lot of people are gonna like it a lot more than I did. I especially think, Greg, you're gonna fall over yourself for this one.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna have to see this movie right after we're done taping, so I will get back to you guys on The Origin of Evil again. Theaters and on demand September 22nd. Both the dudes recommended it. Bruce with the 4.5 and Eric with a 3 star. It's not a 3 star banger, just a 3 star rating, which is a mild recommend from Eric Holmes.